What up, good people? It is the Wolf. Let's get into it. We got plenty of things to cover in this video. So let's talk about the relationship of a female in her masculine era or masculine energy. Now, as somebody, well, I guess before that, hit that bell, like, subscribe, you guys. If you're new here, welcome to the tribe. This is just my other little unrestricted channel compared to the big channel, which is Badwolf Unlimited. If you want legal stuff and all things fire for your normal daily needs, taxes and paychecks and tickets and court, all that kind of stuff, baby mama drama, child support, hit me up on that channel. I got you guys over there. All right. Once again, you guys don't even understand. Like the stuff that I give you guys, the elite don't like, the police, the courts, even to the point where they don't even help me with my own things because they don't like that I'm helping you guys live a better life. So hit that bell, like, subscribe. I have to go through my daily tortures and deal with these scum suckers. So at least support me any kind of way you guys can. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. So some of y'all know and don't know because I don't really talk about my personal stuff on my other channel, but I'll do a little bit over here. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm very honest. There's literally almost nothing you can't ask me that I won't tell you the truth about. Um, I lost that years and years ago. All right. So I was raised by females mostly. All right. Which gave me a unique perspective of how women love, cry, hide, lie, cheat, play games, play dudes, good women, good girls, um, cycles, period, emotion. I've been there. All right. And let me share something with you. My mom, God rest her soul, almost well, in all actuality, 3 days from now is actually her passing date. So I dedicate this video to my mom. God rest her soul, garden, heaven, and glory. Um, take my hat off with some respect to that. So she was always in her masculine because she was raised in the South. So she knew how to dig ditches, drive truck, shoot a gun or an arm. You know, sometimes the sensors on here are a little weird, so I got to be careful what I say. Um, and she raised my sister and then me, and then numerous other people in my family. Some were good and some were just trash. But she still had a door open for almost everybody, a light on, a chair, and a cup of coffee, right? But she was always in her masculine almost all the time. I mean, mom very rarely wore a dress, but when she did, she was very beautiful. Matter of fact, she was always beautiful to me. But and she was one of the first female computer programmers, female in general, but also of color in the entire world. All right. She was working on the databases and mainframes back when they had the old that far back and then some, right? I mean, the first ones. All right. Some of the first units you could actually bring home, and the modems were like this big. All right. So, but I learned from her why and how females move into their masculine and all that other stuff. But she was not a perfect person. So I'm not going to give you some story. My mom was always perfect. Okay. She was not, but she was one of the better, best ones out there. So a lot of my experience comes from her with that. But then I also seen other individuals, my friends and whoever else, women, moms, dad, moms and wives, whatever else, moving in and out of theirs. And I met some women who never were in their masculine. They were beautifully flowing in their femininity. A lot of girls get just mixed up and think, oh, I had one girl like, I am feminine. What you talking about? I am feminine. You're female. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're very feminine. That's where you're beautiful, you're glowing, you're flowing, and you're enjoying all the aspects of being a woman. You're rocking that shit. And there is nothing more sexy as somebody who loves women, probably a little bit too much. Um, or at least used to when I was a bad boy. Um, when you see a woman in her feminine. So for a lot of females, you guys don't understand, and this does not go out to the real women. Women, they know how to balance a little bit of masculinity and whatever else. But this is also so you guys can understand how we feel and how we look at it. But it's primarily to the ones who are want to hear this type of content and potential. Call me Uncle James or Uncle Wolf or whatever, the brother maybe some of y'all should have had, or the whatever. Okay, put me where you need me. That's what she said. But when a male, and remember, if you guys haven't watched my other videos, there's a difference between an adult sized boy who could be 40, 50 years old and still playing little games like a boy. So, for the love of God, adopt that term and stop saying all men ain't shit. All men are this. You haven't dated all of the men. Most females have never even had a good man, much less a great man. And because there's a lot of good men out there, but they ain't all great. Just like there's a lot of gorillas out there, but not all of them are silverback. So don't mix up the two. You've been dating those uh, zoo monkeys, thinking that, because they got their little dog dick meat hanging out, that was a man. No, he was male, sweetheart, beautiful Miss Lady, whoever you are. He was not a man. He wasn't even a great man. And that's a sad thing. But also, once again, there are females out there who are adult sized girls and they're not women. Just because you have a vagina doesn't make you a woman, makes you female. There's a lot of females out there who are mothers, but they're not a mom. Yeah, so many people out there want to split hairs, and then fine, let's split hairs. Let's identify things for what they are. And if you're a male or a female and you're a hoe, I'm gonna call you a hoe. I'm gonna call it what it is. Same other channel. I ain't got to be all pristine over here. This is just what it is. But I will always try to respect people. So when I say these things, it's not about any of you guys personally because I don't know you. This is about education for certain people out there moving a certain way. And I want people to understand that though it's a moderate sized group who are thinking and moving this way, it's not every female that is a bad person or a bad woman. Same thing for males. They're not all bad. They just haven't earned their stripes to really have the title man. But a lot of those boys will use it. I'm a grown ass male. And they're really not. In their mind, they know if they say anything less than that, they'll get less respect. But a lot of them haven't earned it. They don't walk it. They don't talk it. They don't show it. They don't provide a area for a woman or a young lady who's trying to be in her pure feminine to provide a area for her to blossom. And one of the things I've done with many females over the years is try to fix them. But that's not what I do anymore. I provide an area for my lady to be safe, to be seen, to be heard. And though she tells me a lot of stuff I don't want to hear and I don't like, we have open communication. Sometimes I don't really want to hear it. I'm tired, but I listen. Or we table the issue until a better time can be found, and then we address it. So your real job as guys out there is not to fix these females. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even be picking them if they're not close enough to a point where they're ready for a relationship. They might be ready for sex, and you might be ready for it too. Fine, then agree to that and let that be what it is. But if you're trying to take somebody who's not ready for that, and a lot of females will say, "Yeah, I'm ready to be a wife," but yet they don't know what it takes to be a wife. They know what it takes to try to get married, so they hustle that up, but then they don't bring anything like actual wife energy to the table. So I digress. What ladies have to understand is that as a man or a male, we enjoy seeing that you guys can handle yourself. We we enjoy seeing that nobody can just get at you. You can protect yourself. You're not foolish, you're not stupid, and hopefully you've left all that back into the era of being a girl. But when it comes to you being a woman, female, young lady, girl, whatever else, if you're with a guy and you think that you're going to give him disrespect with negative energy, talk, whatever it is, you're putting yourself in a position of danger for either your relationship or physically. Because let me tell you the truth. As a man, I've knocked down a lot of dudes. And I'm not talking about sexually, okay? I'm talking about physically. Because we as guys have a certain level of respect. We understand that any guy, punch them in their throat, up in their nose, in their temple, heart shot, whatever else, that could be your it. You're done. So even if I don't know another guy, we size each other up and we're like, I'm going to war with somebody possibly that can take me out or may come after me or may endanger me or mine. So we as guys live in the real world to know that this guy, when he's fighting me, he doesn't know how strong I am. For to most of you guys, I may not seem like I'm a very big guy. 5'10, 5'11. Okay. And I'm 205 pounds. I'm a whole lot more strong and stocky than I appear. And a lot of guys out there have misread the room and my abilities. As somebody who's been in martial arts and many street fights over the years, let me just tell you, I've been there and I've done that. All right. I've won far more than I've lost. And I'm very petty if I lose too, I'll tell you that. But anyway, so out of the gate, whether I think I can beat somebody down or not, it's something that I don't want to just generally do. Doesn't mean unless I'm afraid of that person. I just don't want to possibly deal with the ramifications that come along with it. So I have a healthy amount of respect, even for the average guy out there, even if he's a POS. Sure, I might be able to beat him up physically, but he may come back with a chitty chitty bang bang. So we guys, we have a certain level of understanding that we should hold to some regard how we treat and talk to each other. So when a female comes along and starts to talk to us with male energy, male aggression, that can be very dangerous. Now, if he holds it in, he's going to resent you because you're emasculating him. So either he's going to punk down and it's that's what he's going to do, or he's going to want to fight you, but he's going to know he's probably going to get into trouble if he puts hands on you. And then you've got the guys out there who are emotionally un the bad boys, most of the females out there like, who don't care about that and they will put their hands on you. And unfortunately, and God bless your hearts to those, I don't believe anybody really deserves to have their hands put on them, but if you do certain things and you put somebody in a position and they do that, well, that's because you didn't read the room and you didn't realize that you were putting yourself in danger. Any normal, healthy male, if you get into his face, especially as a female, he's already generally your strength and a percentage more. So if you talk to him with crazy level of disrespect and aggressive and you start throwing things or putting hands on him, whatever else it is, understand there is a monster there. Not saying females aren't capable of throwing some whoop down. I've seen plenty of females throw some dudes I personally know around. I'm just saying that's something that if you're already in that position of arguing and fighting and putting hands on each other, um, it's already toxic and it's probably not going to get any better. It's only going to usually get worse. So try to avoid that, but understand that you can go farther in speaking with your femininity. You're not even using your superpower. You're trying to match up with a male, and generally you're not going to match him physically. We were genetically bred out by females like you picking the better, bigger, stronger, faster guy. So we, compared to a lot of other males, are going to be bigger, stronger, faster. So if we have to deal with guys who are sometimes bigger, stronger, faster than even us or me or them, or I'm more than him or whatever else it is, understand we then have a mentality. I'm not going. I'm not going to fear another guy, but I'm afraid of what he could possibly do to me. So then I see a female come along where generally most guys hold back a large percentage of their strength. Even my girl seen only a fraction of my true strength. And even with that, she's actually haven't seen me guy on guy full strength. I fear for my life strength. She's seen I'm not happy strength. That's why do you think you watch these videos, you see a lot of these guys when they're wrestling with girls are not really trying, and a lot of girls are trying their hardest. Most of the time, guys aren't. Most of the time guys are holding back because of respect and they don't want to hurt that person or get into trouble. So if you get at your dude in a male disrespectful way, understand that even if he doesn't do anything, you're psychologically damaging him, that he may go out and do something, he may fight back in other ways, he may cheat, or he's going to probably plot to get rid of you or leave you, when all this really takes is your actual superpower you were born with, your femininity. Man, let me tell you how my mom, God rest her soul, and my sister and these girls used to play me like a fiddle. Oh, you've got big arms. You're so strong. You should be do this. Can you do that for me? You're a big strong. You're so smart. I'm not as smart as you. You think you could, loan me some money, and every time the man in me, because naturally men, males, good ones, not the ones some of y'all pick. That's why it's a problem, because you didn't find a man to be with. You found a male, a boy, adult sized boy. When females turn on that superpower, something else goes, I got you. Because not only are you making feel seen, respected, acknowledge that it takes time to build muscle and mind and position and control. Every day as males, we are controlling our SEGG sexual urges, our strength, our insanity, where we're just like, I'm tired of this. I'm just going to lose more every day. And I'm not saying females every day don't go through their things. I can't speak for that exactly. I can only tell you what I've seen, but I don't walk those shoes. I mean, I probably could. I mean, my calves look great in some heels. I'm just saying. But but I can speak on a male to a man, a boy to an adult sized boy to a man. I can't speak on that. So I'm not going to discredit or discount females for what they go through on the daily. I've seen a lot of it, but the personal experience, I can't give you that. And I will never disrespect females by saying I can. I can only tell you what I've seen and how I can interpret that as a male to how we believe it goes. So don't ever disrespect a male by thinking you know what it's like even one day. Matter of fact, the one lady, this comedian chick, was like, "Oh, guys have it so easy." Blah blah blah. She shaved her hair, did her thing up, and looked just like a guy. And she ended up unaliving herself sometime later because of the level of hurt, disrespect, and being put in her place by other males on a daily basis, and females rejecting her when she looked like a normal white dude with glasses and kind of spiky hair. She didn't understand it. She didn't see it. She didn't believe it. She didn't understand the hierarchy out here of men. You will know your place out there amongst males. I would walk in the room, in some rooms, some bars, and all eyes would be on me. I didn't purposely try that or whatever else, but guys look and go, oh, that's that guy. That's Mr. This was back in the day, especially. That's Mr. I can steal your girlfriend. I'd see guys pulling their girls a little closer. I see girls checking me out. You walk in looking a little bit like money. You walk in with confidence, et cetera, how you move, what you're driving. And then guys compare themselves. Damn, he's got a nicer car. Damn, he looks like he works out. Damn, he's got confidence. Damn, he knows the owner. Damn, he just walked into VIP. All these things guys look at. Most of the time, girls are oblivious to guys checking them out unless a guy is overly obvious. If you're a female, put your cell phone in your back pocket and hit record and just let it play. Walk around, go to the store and see who looks at you behind your back, who checks you out. The good guy out there is going to check you out and try not to make it so obvious. But if he's interested, he'll try to make a little bit of contact. The bad boy or the more aggressive guy is going to definitely walk up to you and use one of his witty lines that were panty droppers for other people out there. He's going to be a little bit more aggressive because a lot of girls, not all, not women, women do not like aggressive men. Adult sized women who are not mentally healthy do, because that's usually the kind of guy that took your virginity. So you're stuck on the bad boy types. Like I said, I was a nerd and got no attention from females until I put on the bad boy persona. And it wasn't even so much that I just put it on. I enjoyed it. I became that person. I was that bad boy. I was the player, though I didn't necessarily like lie. I told the girls I had other females, and that comes from my mother. My mom said, look, don't be like your dad just because you're good at talking to people, you look good, you're smooth, and all that good stuff. And hurt, lie, cheat, and play with women. She said, tell them the truth. If they accept it, you'll go farther because they're like, yeah, I know what it is. Most real women don't want to be lied to. They'll accept all kind of bullshit if they want to, and they'll move forward knowing, yeah, he did tell me. Hell, a lot of girls out there, believe in their baby daddies and knowing they ain't shit. That's wild to me. But once again, that comes from a lack of somebody teaching you, male or female, mom or dad, how to have better discernment. The males, fathers do the best job because we know how we move and think. But there's a lot of great mothers out there who also can do that as well, teach their daughters to have better discernment. Matter of fact, my girl, her discernment was medium, but she's doing a damn fine job of teaching her daughters that discernment because she's been through the games and got played and all that, used and all that shit by some punk bitch boys. And then any of them can come holler at your boy anytime they want because I know some of them watch my materials too. I digress. So your superpower is in your femininity. All you really have to do at the end of the day is be like, oh, you're a strong man. You're the big provider. You're my guy. Can you take care of me? Like, be feminine. But see, that's the problem. Some females out there don't even know how to be good females or feminine. They don't. They don't know nothing about being a lady. I am sexy. I am a woman. I am female. I have seen trans men who are more feminine than some actual females out there. How to take a compliment, how to work the room, how to be loyal, how to be here with your men. Some of y'all go out with your males and you're the social butterfly paying attention to everybody else, attracting dudes, knowing what's going on, and then wondering why your man is upset because he went out to be with you, to show you off. And you're literally giving everybody the close-up tour of everything that is you. Or, and I'm not going to knock anybody's hustle for your OF or whatever else. I mean, I'll talk about it. But if you're showing everybody out there, you're entertaining dudes in your DMs, you're being a female, but you're not being feminine. Femininity comes from being demure. Demure means having some respect, having the ability to be shy a little bit, be a woman, be hard to get, be a kept woman to some degree, but also to be able to use your masculinity when you need. Now, think about it. Some females out there are like, well, I just need you to put me in my place, grab me. I've heard girls like, choke me, do this kind of stuff, put me in my place. What are you, mentally delusional, mental health issues? You want a guy to put hands on you. Now, understand if you guys going to role play in the bedroom, hey, we can get down, but I'm going to need you to sign this waiver real quick because I'll get down. All right. I've been with enough females out there. All right. But so I know some of y'all get down like that. And that can be fun, but I'm gonna need you to sign this waiver. All right. Consensual, all this and all that. Have a safe word. Well, if you would just take me and put me in my place like a real nickel would, or whatever. However you guys say it. Some people say it differently. So if you would just do that, you put me in my place. And that's what a real man would do, put me in my femininity. I like you sound like a dude. You sound like this is the only life you've known. You sound almost like a halfway prosty with somebody who's been a sex survivor, and now this is your world, and you don't even know that you're living feral, like a wild ass animal. Can you imagine how would you look at a male if he said, "Damn girl, all you need to do is put me in my masculinity. I'm gonna be female. I'm gonna be feminine until then. You just gotta take me and bring me into my masculinity, girl. I need a reals woman. A real woman will put me in my masculinity. I like that about you. Would you entertain that kind of dude? Do you see how absurd that sounds? I want you to put me into what I should already be or what I should be working on to be better overall as a male. So being aggressive towards a guy, being that is not cute. It is not sexy. Guys generally, if they're straight, I got some gay guys in my family. I've been hit on by gay guys my entire life. No problem with that. Do what you do. Some of them are good friends. We are cool. We have an understanding. I don't care about anybody's race, creed, color, nationality, sexual orientation. As long as you're not hurting kids or whoever you're with and you have permission from an adult, knock yourself out. I've been through all kinds of stuff. I've seen it all. So all I'm saying is those are my rules. Matter of fact, I won't even take court cases when I help people if they've done anything to kids or abused other people. I don't get down with none of that. So understand, ladies, if you're too deep in your masculinity, I'm not saying you need to hide who you are, but if that's where you want to be, understand you're not going to get a generally a good, healthy, balanced man by being male and aggressive. It's not that he's a pussy because, it's he shouldn't have to have somebody because most straight guys do not want a masculine woman. We don't want the male energy. I've got lots of good friends. I don't want their male energy in my female. I got a female because I want femininity. I want feminine energy. I want her to be able to help soften me up sometimes. It's shitty always having to be this tough dude, especially as a black dude, as a brother out there. I got to be on my shit. I got to be G. I got to be hard. Now, this day and age, it's coming down a little bit compared to how I grew up back in the old days, back before electricity. Um, so it is not what a general good guy. Now, your G's, and yes, I'm not going to lie, I was in a gang years ago. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about gangs as being, you know, some are good, some are bad. It is what it is. But your Hood, your Roughneck, your Adams, your Chads, your Tyrones, these are the guys that don't really care, but they're also the kind of guys that also, and I don't understand why females don't see this, he may be great in bed, he may be all those things, but girls focus on that. Girls focus on dick and dollars. Real women focus on security, love, nurturing, and being present. Do you think that the scumbag dudes out there, your roughnecks, your whatever else, they already have kids they don't take care of? What do you think? You've got the platinum pussy, the legendary platinum pussy that's just going to make his life go, oh, damn, I'm going to give up all that street stuff and I'm going to be right with her. It's not how it works. Males only change for themselves when they want to. Now, there are some that will go, ooh, I would give all that up for her. But once again, that's also the guy. Even for me, most of my female friends were like, when they found out that I had a woman and a kid and I wasn't going out anymore, I wasn't doing all that, they were like, you've changed. You've actually become a man. Well, that man was always in me, but I entertained my hoe phase, if you want to call it that. So guys don't generally want a masculine female. We want somebody who's mostly female and has a dash of that when she needs to have it. I want to know that my female can grab that thing or punch a dude or fix something if I'm not there. But generally, she wants me to do it. She enjoys seeing me do it. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing a lot of things for my lady, even right now. She's never had a good man in her life, ever. She's had decent males, and they, helped her out, did this, blah, blah, blah. Mostly just took advantage of what she had to offer. So she has a hard time with this masculine energy, letting me help her financially or physically or whatever. And that's one of the other reasons why good guys do not want to deal with, in some cases, some guys consider it this way, her and her masculinity, her and her baggage, the damage that other dudes have done to her. We don't want that. Why would I want to? I have to fight and deal with other guys on a daily basis in the hierarchy of the male system. And then I got to come home to somebody that I want soft and loving and take care of me, get a massage and just basic things. I don't need everything. My mom taught me to cook, clean, wash, all that stuff. I can sew, I can do all that shit. I don't need you for any of that stuff. But if she wanted to do it for me, I would let her. But she has a hard time letting me because she's never had anybody there. That's a block that she's working on. We're working on. She's been helping me to enjoy, I guess if you want to call it, my feminine side, the female, okay? Being a little softer, being a little bit more gentle, being a little bit more. So it's kind of funny. She's helping me heal in those areas, but it's still yet taking her time because we all learn at different ways, different speeds. We have processes. But that's one of the reasons why a lot of guys, and I'll be honest, if I didn't think she was my person, I probably would have been just like some of the other guys, smash and dash. I don't want them problems. So when me and her first started talking, she's like, "You want these problems?" And then she stopped and caught herself, and she says, "You know what? Let's look at things new and different. Let's say, do you want these? We have solutions. We're not gonna look at problems." And I said, "Yeah." I was like, "That's a good way of thinking of it." So she's always um, self-correcting, not necessarily always in the moment. And she's starting to even see, and even because of me helping her to create creating a safe environment where she can let her hair down a little bit and be more feminine. That's on her. I just create the environment and she's getting there. Even her kids are like, my mom is a lot nicer when you're here. Mom's been a whole lot nicer ever since you came into her life. Uh, James is, more of a man than our own fathers. But a lot of guys don't want that work unless you are the right woman or young lady that we're looking for. As always, guys, these are just educational videos for also entertainment purposes. Got to say that, live your life how you want to live. I'm not telling you what you can or cannot do. I'm just trying to say if you guys want better, it might be time to learn something new. The definition of insanity is doing something over and over, going after the same type of guys, same type of girls, and expecting something different. That's the definition of insanity. So you have to mentally fix yourself. That's why they have self help books. You have to identify that you are probably the reason, this may hurt some people out there, you are probably the reason for your failures. But you can add up those failures and turn them into successes if you work on you and learn from what you've been through. Most of the bad stuff that has happened in most people's lives is because of themselves. You are sometimes or can be your own worst enemy. You don't even need frenemies. Yes, that's my word, friend enemies. You don't even need frenemies to do damage. You're the one going out with them every weekend. You're the one spending money when you should be putting that money on your light bill or on your kids or whatever else. You're the one that believes that. And here's another thing, ladies, as guys, I know that might be a like you may think that those long nails guys find super sexy. We really don't. We like your regular nails, painted, not painted. We like you. We don't care about your long fake nails. I know my girl almost had an aneurysm when I said that. I love that she loves the nails. I could care less. Matter of fact, sometimes they can be kind of painful depending on how we're moving around. So, like, I could care less. Sure, they're pretty, they're beautiful to look at. Sometimes the little designs and whatever else. But as a guy, we're like regular nails would be fine. Shape them, but some people, and also for health reasons, it's not actually healthy because you're not letting the cuticle breathe. You need to let your nail breathe. That nail right there, there's tiny microscopic holes in there that need oxygen. And the chemicals that you use to put it on and to take them off are toxic, not good for your system. But we'll talk about more of that kind of stuff on another video. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to cover. A lot. I got a lot of videos to make. And I learned a lot of stuff. I've seen some things, y'all. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your day. Take care of each other. Love yourself like nobody else will because you are the only one who's going to ever love you the way you need to be loved. You are responsible for your help. That's why it's called self help. And if not, go get yourself some help. You need to see through the lies and the BS and the social engineering. And understand, ladies, you want to know who one of your worst enemies really are, and y'all don't even see it? Other females. Other females are females' number one enemy. A lot of them will set you up. They will try to take your man. They will get you to cheat on your man. Not saying guys don't do some of that, but girls trust girls on such an interesting level until something just majorly happens, and then they go, "Oh well, yeah, I don't mess with her. I don't fuck with her no more." I'm not saying all females are bad. I'm just saying understand that generally at the end of the day, your worst enemy is generally going to be another female. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I know some out there. Yes, men abuse. I'm not talking about that. That's an obvious. Males, adult size males. But if you have better discernment, you wouldn't be letting them in your life. And yes, there are some emotionally uncontrollable males out there. That's why we have police. But you also need to read the room and try to stay away from those types of creepy bad guys with the bad vibes. And hell, even the smooth ones out there who just want to knock you down and mess up your pH and your mental state and play games and give you a kid. Because God, you're going to make a great single mom type dudes. It is better to be alone and work on you than to have chaos and drama that some people out there live on, male or female. So once again, at the end of this, it's understanding, overstanding. Good male dudes, adult, healthy men do not want females who are 24/7 in their masculinity. We like the interchange of our opposite, which is what the female and the feminine is supposed to be. But you live your life how you want. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Have a great night. Woof. My dinner came, so I got to go eat.